Iran has reportedly deployed a series of submarines into the strategically critical Strait of Hormuz in what appears to be a direct move to counter the growing presence of U.S. naval forces in the region. The new deployment comes as the Middle East braces for potential conflict, following President Trump's decision to send additional American warships toward Iranian territorial waters. Among the Iranian assets now in motion are the Fateh-class semi-heavy attack submarine and the Ghadir-class midget submarine, both designed to operate effectively in shallow coastal environments. Defense Security Asia reported on January 25 that Tehran's latest undersea maneuvers coincided with the U.S. aircraft carrier USS Abraham Lincoln approaching the northern reaches of the Arabian Sea, near Iran's southern coast. The outlet described the development as the most visible maritime escalation in months, signaling that both sides are preparing for a prolonged period of heightened naval tension. Powered by a diesel-electric propulsion system, the Fateh-class submarine combined stealth operations with low acoustic signature, allowing it to patrol quietly in contested waters. It has an estimated displacement of around 593 tons, giving it the size and balance ideal for both coastal defense and regional deterrence missions. Measuring approximately 48 meters in length, the vessel offers compact agility, allowing it to maneuver efficiently in the shallow and narrow channels of the Persian Gulf. Engineered for sustained patrols, the submarine boasts an endurance of up to 35 days at sea, enabling long-duration surveillance and strike readiness without resurfacing frequently. When submerged, it can reach speeds approaching 14 knots, fast enough for evasive maneuvers while maintaining energy efficiency during extended underwater operations. Operational assessments indicate that the Fateh can dive to test depths between 200 and 250 meters, providing adequate concealment in Iran's littoral and deep water zones. Its primary weaponry consists of 4 to 6 533mm torpedo tubes, arming the sub for both anti-ship and anti-submarine warfare roles. These tubes are capable of firing Valfajr heavy torpedoes, Iran's indigenously developed munitions designed to neutralize larger surface targets. Additionally, the Fateh can launch underwater deployed anti-ship cruise missiles, giving it a strategic strike capability far beyond its modest size. The Ghadir-class midget submarine forms the backbone of Iran's undersea warfare fleet, built for stealthy operations in the shallow, confined waters of the Persian Gulf. Each vessel displaces roughly 117 tons on the surface and 125 tons when submerged, compact enough to evade detection yet capable of packing serious firepower. Measuring about 29 meters in length, the Ghadir operates with a minimal crew of just 7 sailors, optimizing efficiency and concealment in tight maritime spaces. The design is believed to be derived from North Korea's Yeono-class submarines, modified locally by Iranian engineers for regional and coastal missions. Despite its small size, the Ghadir carries 2 533mm torpedo tubes, giving it a potent strike capability against both surface vessels and submarines. It can fire Iran's domestically produced Valfajr heavy torpedoes or the high-speed Hoot supercavitating torpedo, which travels at extreme velocity by encasing itself in a bubble of gas. The submarine is also capable of launching underwater-fired cruise missiles, extending its attack reach far beyond visual range. With an estimated engagement range of 200 to 300 kilometers, the Ghadir class poses a significant threat to enemy ships operating near Iran's coastlines. The Strait of Hormuz remains one of the world's most vital maritime choke points, through which roughly 20 to 21% of global seaborne oil shipments transit each day. Military analysts warn that Iran could combine its submarine fleet with coordinated missile salvos, adopting a hybrid undersea and aerial approach to counter any Western naval pressure. Iran's submarine arsenal currently numbers between 28 and 30 vessels, comprising a mix of indigenously produced Fateh and Ghadir submarines as well as several older Russian-built Kilo-class boats. Iran's latest submarine deployment comes just as the USS Abraham Lincoln Carrier Strike Group has entered the Middle East, bringing American naval power significantly closer to Iranian shores. The Abraham Lincoln arrived in theater on the evening of January 25, a movement widely seen as a direct response to escalating tensions and increasingly hostile rhetoric between Washington and Tehran. According to Iran International, citing Israel's Channel 13, the U.S. aircraft carrier is now operating in regional waters at an undisclosed location, but within reach of key maritime choke points. At the same time, reports say a second U.S. carrier group has moved into the Mediterranean, while a third has crossed the Atlantic, together forming one of the largest American naval deployments in recent years. Earlier, IRGC Ground Forces Commander Mohammed Pakpour declared that the Revolutionary Guard has its finger on the trigger, signaling a high state of readiness for potential confrontation. Pakpour warned both Israel and the United States to avoid what he called misjudgment, referencing lessons from the 12-day war of June 2025 and hinting at Iran's willingness to escalate if attacked. He further stated that any strike against Iran would bring a more painful and regrettable fate upon its adversaries, language interpreted by analysts as a veiled threat of severe retaliation. In a recent escalation of rhetoric, an IRGC-linked media outlet openly threatened that Iran could sink the USS Abraham Lincoln using hypersonic missiles now claimed to be in its arsenal. For years, the Iranian Navy has conducted exercises specifically simulating attacks on large surface platforms like aircraft carriers, refining asymmetric tactics designed to overwhelm superior fleets. In a striking piece of messaging, Iran also unveiled a large mural in Tehran depicting the destruction of a U.S. aircraft carrier painted in the colors of the American flag, a visual warning aimed squarely at Washington.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the US will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry guards.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HD videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.